Welcome to the module on voluntary organizations and its history. The objective of this module is to discuss the concept of the voluntary organizations, its history and present status. The module would help the learner to get a basic understanding about voluntary sector in India with special emphasis on voluntary organizations. Voluntary organizations are considered as a vital part of the civil society. It is an operational arm of the civil society with an important role in development process. Voluntary organizations act as catalyst of social development, providing important services throughout the world. In India, voluntary effort has always been an integral part of the culture and social tradition. Definition of a voluntary organization. A voluntary organization is a formally registered non-profit association of groups of individuals found on the principles of equality, altruism and voluntary work to promote human development and nation building. According to the World Bank, a voluntary organization is a private organization that pursues activities to revive suffering, promote the interest of the poor, protect the environment, provide basic social services and to undertake community development. According to Government of India, non-governmental organization partnership system, voluntary organization consists of organizations engaged in public services based on ethical, cultural, social, economic, political, religious, spiritual, philanthropic or scientific and technological considerations. In societal context, United Nations Development Program describes voluntary organizations as third sector organizations. In the context of the above definition, we can see few of the examples of the voluntary organization. First, community based organizations. Second, non-governmental organizations. Third, charitable organizations. Next is support organizations, network or federations and professional membership associations. In other words, voluntary organizations are legally constituted organizations operating independently from government and they generally considered being non-state, non-profit oriented groups who pursue purposes of public interest. Now, we will be discussing on the history of the voluntary organizations. When we discuss about the international scenario, we can see the international voluntary organizations have a history back from 1839. In ancient Greece, there were various voluntary organizations ranging from clubs to an affluent to religious or professional associations. In the medieval times, some non-governmental administrative duties were carried out by different guilds. It has been estimated that in the year 1914, there were 1083 voluntary organizations were operating internationally dealing with the issues like slavery, issues related to the women. And in 1945, when the United Nations organizations were formed, the number of the voluntary organizations has increased tremendously all over the world. So, what are the reasons for booming the voluntary organizations? The main reason are the economic recession, the end of the Cold War, the growing demands of the privatization and the impact of the globalization which has happened in the 20th century. Now, we will be discussing about the national scenario of the voluntary organizations. India has a long history of voluntary effort based on the concept of dana, which means giving, and seva, which means service. In the pre-independence days, Rabindranath Tagore in his Shantiniketan experiment shown how rural development could be brought about by integration of the education and culture. And Mahatma Gandhi in his Wardha experiment shown how village industries could bring about the development of the poorest sections of the society in this country. During the second half of the 19th century, the nationalist conscience spread across India and self-help groups emerged as the primary focus of the socio-political movements. The early examples of such attempts are Family in Need Society, which started in the year 1859, Prarthana Samaj in the year 1864, Satya Sodha Samaj in the year 1873, Arya Samaj in the year 1875, National Council for Women in India 1875 and Indian Conference in the year 1887. NGOs emerged in India soon after the independence of this country. Many followers of the Mahatma Gandhi established voluntary agencies to work closely with governmental programs on social and economic issues. These agencies organized the handicrafts and village industries, rural development programs and rural credit cooperatives. The next stage of the NGO growth in India was around the year 1960, when many individuals noticed that the governmental programs seemed to be inadequate to deal with the deprived sections of India. These groups formed organizations that worked on behalf of the poor, the landless, the tribes, the bonded laborers and many other social groups that were being discriminated against the policies of the state and social structure. These grassroots organizations worked at the micro level with the limited resources and lack of coordination. Since independence, there was little effort from the part of the government of India to define the role of the voluntary agency to recognize its importance in development sector. In the year 1980, in the 6th 5-year plan, that is from the period of 1980 to 1985, the government of India identified new areas in which NGOs or new actors could participate in development. It consists of some of the areas like optimal utilization of the and development of the renewable sources of energy, including forestry through the formation of the renewable energy associations at blocks, family welfare, health and nutrition, education and relevant community programs in the field, health for all programs, water management and soil conservation programs, social welfare programs for the weaker sections, implementation of the minimum needs program, disaster preparedness and management programs during the time, especially in the area of floods and cyclone, promotion of the ecology and tribal development and environmental protection and its education. Now, we will be seeing about the voluntary organizations in the 5-year plans. A more active role of the voluntary organizations is to aid in making communities as self-reliant as possible. So, voluntary organizations were expected to show how village and indigenous resources could be used and how human resources, rural skills and local knowledge are grossly underutilized at present could be used for their own development. The importance of the non-governmental organization is further enhanced, paying particular attention to the role of these agencies as participants in rural appraisal process for drawing up development plans at a very low cost and involving in the rural community. The Planning Commission of India lays emphasis on the creation of the national-wide network of the non-governmental organizations. It also proposes that non-governmental organizations should play a role in the development, especially in the area of public-private partnership model. And the present status of the voluntary organization. India is estimated to have around 3.3 million non-governmental organizations in the year 2009, just over 1 NGO per 400 Indians. According to the study, the largest number of the voluntary organizations are registered in the state of the Maharashtra, and the second and third positions are followed by Andhra Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh respectively. Now, we will be discussing about the legal identity of the non-governmental organizations in India. In the Indian context, incorporation of a non-governmental organizations can be carried out by the following ways, and these organizations are registered under the Societies Registration Act of the 1860, Indian Trust Act of 1882, the Cooperative Societies Act of 1904, the Trade Unions Act of 1926 and under the Indian Companies Act of 1956. In the year 2007, Government of India introduced national policy for the voluntary organizations. This policy recognizes the importance of the voluntary organizations in India. The objective of this policy is to encourage, enable and empower an independent, creative and effective voluntary organization with diversity in form and function, so that it can contribute to the social, cultural and economic advancement of the people of this nation. This policy also affirms that the growing need of the collaboration with the voluntary sector by the government and the private sector at local, provincial and national levels. Now, we will be discussing about the objectives of the national policy for the voluntary organization. The first objective of this policy is creation of an enabling environment for voluntary organizations, which helps in autonomy and effective functioning. Second, enabling the voluntary organizations to mobilize national and international financial resources within a legal framework. Third, identification of the systems which help in public-private partnership. Next is encouraging the voluntary organizations to adopt good governance, and this policy also highlights the need for government to encourage all central and state government agencies to introduce pre-service and in-service training modules on constructive relations with the voluntary organizations. It also recognizes the difficulties faced by the voluntary sector in assessing government schemes and suggestions to tackle this issue. And as a summary of this module, in this module, the concept of the voluntary organizations are discussed, history of the voluntary organizations from an international and national scenario is discussed, also the legal status of the voluntary organizations in India, and the national policy for the voluntary organization 2007 is discussed. Thank you for attending this session.